The Stack. People, Business, Technology. With Dan Tomaszewski of Everything MSP.
Hello, everybody. Dan Tomaszewski here with Everything MSP. Hope you're doing well today. I want to welcome you to this special edition of The Stack, where we focus on people, business, and technology. Today, we're going to talk about how you can level up your tech game at ChannelCon 2024 that takes place July 30th through August 1st. Now, this is the ultimate gathering for tech professionals. This event offers unmatched networking opportunities, inspiring keynotes, cutting edge vendor fare, personalized business advice, and comprehensive education programs. So you can learn strategies for MSP success, cybersecurity best practices, community driven tactics, and learn how to maximize vendor relations. So we will be there live interviewing MSPs that have excelled in growing their business for some of our upcoming episodes of The Stack. So you don't want to miss out on this chance to learn, share, and grow in the tech world. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in our guests. I'm very excited to bring in Wayne Selk, who is with CompTIA. Wayne, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks, Dan, for having me.
I appreciate you being here. We got a very exciting event coming up in just 2 weeks. Still an opportunity to register for the event, and I wanted to make sure that we shared this information with our audience because ChannelCon has always been one of my favorite events to go to every year. So many great memories, and I'll jump into that in just a few moments. But if you could share with our audience a little bit about yourself and your background with CompTIA, that would be great.
Yeah, no worries. So hi, everyone. Wayne Selk. I'm Vice President of Cybersecurity Programs at CompTIA. I also have a second title, being the Executive Director of the CompTIA Community Information Sharing and Analysis Organization, a spot which my predecessor, MJ Shore, filled, who is now leading the communities, the Chief Community Officer. I've been doing cybersecurity for well over 25 years. In recent history, the past 15 has all been around governance, risk, and compliance focused. So if you've heard of the CompTIA Cybersecurity Trust Mark recently, since it's been out there for over a year now, right? That's one of the programs that kind of falls underneath me besides the ISO. And anyway, I'm here to actually help folks understand why ChannelCon, right? I mean, what kind of benefits does it provide to your audience list, whether they're currently CompTIA members or not, right?
Right. Yeah, and as I mentioned, this is an event that I always look forward to. One of the most memorable CompTIA ChannelCon events was in 2016. It was I'm trying to think, Hollywood, Florida, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. I brought my son. He was 12 years old at the time, and the keynote was Peyton Manning, and he wanted the chance to see him, and he developed so many friendships from that, friendships that he still has today. I'm at events and people are like, "Hey, how is Quentin doing?" And the cool thing is that was his first introduction to the IT channel. And very, very proud to say that today he was just hired recently by PAX 8. And so he's working for Rob Ray. So in fact, he met Rob there at that event, and it's pretty cool. So it's amazing, what can come from an event like that. It's starting out his career, and so I thank you, ChannelCon, CompTIA, for that opportunity that you presented by having him there, and it's starting to launch his career. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's I'm going to preempt the question because this is the perfect segue into that question, right? Which I know you're going to ask, so I'm using my mental telepathy.
Yeah, yeah, you're good.
So the interesting part about CompTIA, let me give your audience just a brief little history, right?
Sure.
So CompTIA was started in 1982 as the Association for Better Computer Dealers. They launched their first conference 2 years later in 1984 at the Breakers Hotel.
Breakers, yes.
Right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it was called Breakaway. So
Right.
it was kind of interesting.
Blast from the past.
Right. Just some fun trivia.
Yeah.
For everybody, right? So if you know anything about the tech industry, in 1982, when we were first started, that would make us older than Cisco, right? So
Yeah.
Cisco didn't come about for a year later. So it's always fun to brag about that. Right. That's a whole other story over an adult beverage sometime because I have some pretty Cisco stories, but my storied career. But what most people don't understand, everybody knows CompTIA for certifications. And what they don't understand is that we're actually a 501c6 trade association. So we are the largest IT industry trade association in the world, right? And we're global. We support a number of different countries around the world. For some of your folks that may have been former military or deal with military today, you actually have to have CompTIA's certifications in order to work on IT systems within the DoD.
Oh, wow. Okay. Right. I was not aware. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
It is actually. And there's a number of other relationships and other things that we do completely around the world. We also have a 501c3 foundation inside of CompTIA. It used to be called the CompTIA Foundation, but it has been renamed CompTIA Spark. And the focus for CompTIA Spark is actually, and this is where you're going to appreciate it with your son, to drive awareness of IT careers for middle school students. We're focused here in the US, but believe it or not, our community, when they find out about CompTIA Spark, they want to take it outside of the US and bring it out into our regional areas as well.
Okay.
Right? We have 6 regions now inside of CompTIA community. So we're kind of broken up a little bit internally inside of CompTIA. We have the product house, obviously. Everybody knows that is the certifications. We have our 501c3 charitable philanthropy organization with CompTIA Spark. And then we also have CompTIA Community, which would technically be the membership side of the trade association. And so a lot of things happen inside of the community set. That's where cybersecurity programs, my team resides. We have 6 regions. I think I kind of started on that topic. So North America, which is the US and Canada. We have DACH, which is Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. We have UK and Ireland. Obviously, that makes perfect sense. Benelux, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg. For those of you, we're going to have a geography test after this is done.
Yeah.
Australia, New Zealand. And then our newest region is ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, which I think today it's comprised about 10 or 12 of the smaller Asia countries: Philippines, Thailand, Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, so that kind of area of the world. And we have, those are our regional groups, right? Inside each of those regional groups, we actually have interest groups. There's an MSP interest group in every region. There's a cybersecurity interest group inside of every region. And then there's a couple of other interest groups where folks can join. I think one is around advancing women in technology, and other DEI associated areas, diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? And I think there's one other which is kind of escaping me at the moment. But my point here is, Dan, the community side of things is really what drives the membership
Right.
and everybody like coming together for ChannelCon. ChannelCon, our largest event, our largest flagship event here at CompTIA, is really different than any other technology event. Why? Because of one of the reasons you just mentioned, the ability to network
Yep.
with other like-minded folks and really learn from each other. And that actually translates not just at ChannelCon, but even outside every single day. We have monthly member meetups. We've got monthly ISO member meetups tomorrow. Well, actually tonight for ASEAN, Australia, some of the West Coast. It will take place tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, I might add. And then tomorrow is our ISO meetup for Europe and East Coast folks, right? So it's an hour. Everybody gets together. We talk about various topics, and that's what it is. It's all about sharing. Hey, I'm running into a challenge talking to this client about blah, blah, blah. And lo and behold, somebody in the community has probably already solved that. And so it's a way to share ideas, share concepts, share best practices. We talk about everything and everything under the sun. So when I mention networking, we have a lot of our vendor members are also on, and they share thought leadership. This is not a sales opportunity for anybody. As a matter of fact, they get reprimanded if they try to sell to the audience. This is purely thought leadership, helping the community be better at everything, whether it's managing your business, understanding cybersecurity, selling more, teaching your staff, whether getting them together, helping them learn more about technology and everything that encompasses within the organization. Not just for technicians, not just for owners, anybody in the organization who's a member of because the company is the member of CompTIA.
And that is really unique.
It is.
I that component of it, because regardless of how small or how large your organization is, everybody's included, right?
Right. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if they're HR, if they're finance, if they're sales, they're biz dev, right? And even your techs. I mean, there is something at ChannelCon for everyone to be able to come in and learn and grasp, even if they're looking to learn more about a particular side of technology, right? They can certainly do that. The one thing we don't do is offer our certification classes at ChannelCon.
Okay.
That's the one thing we don't do that, because obviously we're only there for a couple of days. It's very intense. There's a lot of different sessions and stuff going on. And it would be, there's not enough time to accomplish a certification boot camp if somebody was trying to do that.
I want to go back to the networking component. And, I think back early in my career and first started going to events, I think that is one of the most, beneficial things that I think I took for granted initially, because, you're there. I mean, and I was going pre-social media days. So, you were snagging actual business cards, and because that's how you connected with people. But, I would, get business cards from people. And, after a while, I would do like you said, you'd run into a challenge, and, you're like, you know what? I remember so-and-so. I'm going to just reach out to them and see, if they had this type of issue, or if ever been faced with something like this. And, and the value that provides is just incredible, because, the beauty of our IT channel in the community that we have, is that people want to help each other out. It's the whole, There's no fear of competition. It's a very much a co-opetition type scenario where people are very willing to help and see others succeed. And if you don't go to an event like ChannelCon, you don't have that opportunity. You need to be part of that. And there's just been countless times that I've either reached out to someone or someone's reached out to me, and I have developed friendships with so many people, from my early days of going to ChannelCon, and it's just invaluable.
Yeah, I agree, and I hear that from folks all the time. They're like, "Oh my God, I wasn't going to come this year, and I'm so glad I did."
Yeah.
And for various reasons, right? They're like, "I wasn't even expecting a topic on that, and I just learned something new, something
Yeah.
that I can bring into my organization and solve for something I didn't even think I really had a challenge with, right?"
Right.
Or oh my goodness sakes, I met 10 new people. I get to add. We're going out for drinks. I mean, it's just it's a completely different kind of an event.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And I mean, the whole debriefing for me, of course, you debrief with your staff, but for me, I'd get home. The first thing I'm doing is um, I have this level of energy, and I'm telling my wife about everything,
Right.
right? I'm
It's
I'm
so
telling her
exciting.
about all, yeah, like all these different cool things, and the key thing for me is always, because there is so much content, there is so much that you learn, that I always walk away with 3 to 5 things that I'm going to focus on implementing. And because you can walk away with so much stuff that if you don't do that, then you get lost in the hustle and bustle of being back in the office.
Right.
But by jotting down 3 to 5 things, saying, okay, I'm going to focus on these things, that then you've got those goals. But even more so, before I go to the event, I will write down, what do I want to accomplish at this event? What are there specific vendors that, I don't currently work with that I want to learn about? Are there vendors that I do work with and I want to have an opportunity to chat with them and strengthen our relationship face to face? And then, as well as, what are some things that maybe, I'm challenged by, or maybe things that I'm excelling in my business, in my MSP, that I want to share with others. But just kind of planning ahead, and then having those goals as far as things that you're going to implement when you get back into the business.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's amazing to me. I don't know uh, it, how many of your folks know this, but I think we increased the number of vendors, vendor partners, vendor members that are actually going to have booth space at this particular ChannelCon. Now, here's the one thing that I want to clearly point out: all the booths are the exact same size. I don't care how, because they only pay a certain amount of dues. Everybody gets the same size booth, right? Which again is unique to
Yeah.
ChannelCon. But I think we have 170 plus vendors that are going to be in our technology vendor fair
Wow.
this year, right? Which is more. I want to say it's 10 or 12 more than we had last year, and it
Okay.
continues to go up because they too see the value in showing up at this event, right? It's just mind blowing. But again, they have different kinds of conversations with solution provider members that are actually coming in, right? It's not so much the hard sell, so much as it is them wanting to tell you how they can actually help you inside
Yeah.
of your business, right? And I'll touch on the cybersecurity programs team for just a second, because we're actually offering a couple of 3-4 different workshops around the cybersecurity trust mark at ChannelCon this year again. We have a risk management workshop, which will be Tuesday morning. It's 4 hours. Culture and strategy, Tuesday morning, 4 hours. And then a policy development, which is 2 hours, as well as a what is data, which is brand new, 2-hour workshop on Tuesday. And we're repeating them because we've had feedback from folks when we've delivered these workshops, which we've only done one time, because you can imagine it takes a lot out of us, because I teach the risk management. I do the risk management. CJ, Chris Johnson, Miles Jobjan on my team, they do the culture and strategy. We have some members that are actually leading the policy development. And then we have another member who's doing the what is data. And we're repeating them on Thursday afternoon. So from 2 to 6 on Thursday, so 8 to 12 on Tuesday, 2 to 6 on Thursday, after everything's kind of wound down, we're delivering those 4 workshops all over again for folks.
That's great. It gives people opportunity to be able to, adjust their time. And, if they, miss that opportunity, they can go on that additional day. That's great.
And they're included, right? So again, if your company is already a member of CompTIA, there's no cost to attend ChannelCon. There's no cost to attend any of our events, by the way.
Yep.
If your company is already a member. If you're not a member, I believe you have a link for folks, which they can actually go to, and then they can get to the event for free. And then there's some stuff around membership. If they're interested, they find the value, which I can guarantee you that they will. The annual membership for a solution provider, for those of your folks that don't know, is only $450 a year. I have a number of MSP members that have told me that they use that as an employee benefit. And believe it or not, we have solopreneurs. I love that term, by the way. Me, myself, and I shops another way, but they're members too. And because they see a great value in belonging to CompTIA, because there's a mechanism by which folks can grow their business, right? Get opportunities from taking in from other MSPs, other peers from around the world, and help themselves and grow their business, whether it's adding employees or looking into different verticals or other market share or other market space or all that kind of stuff. It's just awesome.
We do have the link for you to learn more as well as register. It's go.everythingmsp.com/ChannelCon. And that will take you right to ChannelCon site in order to, again, learn some additional information, and you can register there as well. And then we do have that offer code, the Try By 24. Do you want to just maybe elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah, so the Try By will give you the access to the conference for free if you're not currently a company member. Again, if you are, it's already included. All you have to do is register. You don't even have to use the link. I'm sorry, the Try By. But the registration's still open. I believe the hotel block is still open. They extended it for folks. So take advantage. We get a great rate at the Hyatt. I want to say it's around $200 a night.
Okay.
So I mean, it's really it's an opportunity, right? If you're not familiar with CompTIA, you've never been to ChannelCon, you want to come check it out and see what it's all about, and find me. If you were like, wow, this is great. I had no idea. Love to hear it. If you have some negative comments, I want to hear that too, right? Does any of the staff, because there's always room for improvement.
Yep. So. Absolutely. And we're pretty excited. We're going to be there as well. So we will be we'll have a podcast booth set up. And so our plan is to interview any MSPs that have excelled in their business and are willing to share their successes. And If you are an MSP that is going to be at the event and want to be considered for an interview, shoot us an email to channelcon@everythingmsp.com. And just let us know that you'd be interested in being interviewed during the event. And that's going to be for some future episodes of the Stack. So as we wrap up here, Wayne, are there any parting words that you'd like to send out to our audience?
Again, I think there's a lot of misperception around who CompTIA is and what we do and what we offer to the community as a whole. We're more than just certifications, honestly. That's what drives the revenue, because we're a self-funded, not-for-profit, vendor neutral trade association, right? Which is why everybody has the same size booth in the vendor fair. But honestly, we're just all here to help, right? So again, reach out if you have any challenges. If you can't attend ChannelCon, that's okay. There are other ways to engage with within CompTIA. You can still sign up. The company can still sign up for membership, get involved, get engaged, join the regional groups, get active inside of cybersecurity. If you look, everybody has experiences around cyber, so everybody has things that they can share, right? Which is awesome. That's truly amazing. And that's what helps others, right? Help change perspective, help understand, oh my God, I didn't even realize I had a gap over here that I need to solve for. So please join us. We're happy to have you. And we're here to help too.
And as I always say, you don't know what you don't know. And, when you get into ChannelCon, beyond the networking, beyond the keynotes, the vendor fair, there's just so much that you can gain from it. And as I mentioned, I've been to countless ChannelCon events, and I've always walked away with an incredible experience. And I highly recommend it. Take a look at it. Look forward to seeing everybody there. And Wayne, thank you so much for your time today to share this information with our audience. And I will see you there, my friend. We will talk.
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate you having me on.
Sounds good. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you all soon. Take care, everyone.
Thank you for listening to The Stack.